Okay, so today we're going to talk about George Washington, our first president, and honestly, just how lucky it was for him to be alive because he escapes death numerous times before becoming our nation's first president. First of all, George Washington is a 21-year-old British commander and will basically single-handedly start the 7 Years' War, known as the French and Indian War here in the United States. He runs into a French ambush, and long story short, there's fighting going back both ways. Washington will later write to his brother about the pleasant noises of the bullets whizzing past him. His army will be forced to retreat to a hastily built Fort Necessity, in which case Washington will unknowingly sign terms of surrender. It's written in French, which Washington doesn't know, and super poorly translated. Nonetheless, he's managed to go back to Virginia instead of being held hostage or killed. At the Battle of Monongahela, an early battle in the French and Indian War, George Washington actually has 2 horses shot out from underneath him, and he has at least 4 bullet holes in his jacket, though nothing hits him and he walks away unscathed. I should mention that during this whole time, George Washington is suffering from dysentery, which if you've ever played Oregon Trails, you know that dysentery manages to kill many, many people historically. Dysentery isn't the only disease that Washington is going to survive. He basically catches most of the worst diseases you can have in the 1700s. He survives malaria, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and smallpox. When he's at Valley Forge, he actually inoculates his troops of smallpox. What I mean by that is he gives his troops just a little bit of smallpox, sort of like an antibiotic today, hoping that their immune systems would be able to fight off the disease. Thus, it works, and Washington's army doesn't have as big of a bout of smallpox as you would see earlier in the Revolutionary War. This famous picture is Washington heroically crossing the Delaware on Christmas Eve, where he's going to defeat the Hessians at the Battle of Trenton. What most people don't know is those ice in the water right there, those chunks are real. When Washington crosses, his boat is one of the only boats to make it across. In fact, a couple of the people that are with him sit on the side of the road just to recover and are frozen by the next morning. So it's pretty amazing that Washington even survives the crossing. No less than 2 weeks after heroically crossing the Delaware, surviving absolutely bitter cold, defeating the Hessians at the Battle of Trenton, Washington finds himself at the Battle of Princeton, where he's riding his horse about 30 or so yards from enemy lines, appearing as a very, very easy target. Though during this, he turns around to his soldiers and says, "Parade with me, my fine fellows, we will have them soon." His bravery will help the Continental Army secure a much-needed win at the Battle of Princeton. In fact, the battles of Trenton and Princeton are absolutely humongous for the Continental Army, seeing as morale was incredibly low and they faced many deserters, so this helps people kind of stick around. Money also helps too. Anyways, look into George Washington. I'm running out of time. He should have been dead many times. It's a great what if in American history, though luckily for us, he stays alive, becomes our first president. Though, hopefully you learn something for always. Love you all.